Oh, thank you for that.
Oh, yeah, so...
Yeah. I posted it, not on that, but on my Facebook, like, last month. I'm excited.
Ooh, he said last month, dog.
Well, yeah, but like this
You know
one...
what that makes him? A hipster. Last month. He posted it up before it was cool.
Yeah,
With 0 likes.
Oh, damn.
just go straight into that depression.
That's fucking rough,
I
man.
think it had 0 likes. I gotta go all the way down to find it.
Alright, welcome to our remastered talk. Yeah, what's up? Oh, wow. Louis Vuitton Jason, man. Alright, cool. Whatever, man.
Yeah, man, after Jason gets his tax returns, if he gets it.
I mean, he's going to get it either way, man. Like,
he'll get other people's tax returns too.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Well, of course, he slashed enough dependents.
Please add a cricket noise. Alright.
He's going to have to add the cricket. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so, on the topic of, like, remastered games, what exactly do you guys want to... What game, specifically, do you guys want to see remastered? Go.
Okay, so I'm going to pick a fighting game, which has been in an arcade cabinet since the 90s, and I'm going to go with Darkstalkers from Capcom. You know, the original, like, monster game, you know, we had vampire, werewolf, zombie, abominable snowman, succubus, mummy, a cactus, weirdly enough, bee, Little Red Riding Hood, and Frankenstein, just to name a few. And the main reason I want Darkstalkers out of everything Capcom's doing is because, you know, we've given Street Fighter so much love. For the last 10 plus years, Street Fighter has always been in the main light of gaming. And, you know, look what they did. They brought in new characters. They brought in new story. They brought in all this to make it literally the crown jewel of the fighting game community. And I'm like, okay, that's great. I mean, they even remastered over 12 Street Fighter games into one collection. And I'm like, okay. And then it really got hype when I think it was either 2013 or 2011. Ono, who's literally the head of Capcom's developmental division, came out at New York Comic Con and said, Darkstalkers aren't dead. So everybody got super hyped, like 100%. People were screaming, yes, we're finally getting that Darkstalkers game that's going to be full 4G engine and all that shit. And then it was the original 3, which I'm not complaining because I have it, both on PS3 and PS4, because it was that good a game. Now, the little thing they didn't hint at was, based on how well people buy this collection, is going to be the determiner on if the new game gets made. And of course, sadly, not a bunch of people bought the collection, and it just went back to obscurity, which pissed off a lot of people. You do not hype people up that well, and then literally, yeah, because nobody bought the collection, we're not going to do it. I'm like, did you not hear those people going apeshit when you first announced it? Really? And I like it because it was like really the first major, like not kooky or corny, Halloween-y type fighting game. It actually has a very good manga following in Japan. And Morgan and Dimitri are like 2 of the huge fan favorites. And it actually has a very good story. And it like leaves off on one of the biggest cliffhangers ever about Morgan being the rightful ruler of the underworld and that shit. So I definitely need a Darkstalkers. I don't care if you remaster the first 3 again, and then based on that, make a new one. But we need that one remastered with like Street Fighter 4 graphics and like fighting game engines and that kind of shit. Because that definitely needs to be the next game up there.
I can agree. Yeah. I didn't play it. I mean, I've watched people play it, but it looked like an interesting fighting game. Personally, like, what was it made for originally?
It was actually made for it was an arcade cabinet, and then it came out for this Japanese system. I forgot the name of it, but it was like really, really hot, and like PS1 was the first one to bring it, to remaster it on there, because that was Vampire Savior 1 and 2. Then Vampire Savior 3 came out, I think on PS2 or that other Japanese console, and then it just nothing. Because I know they remade it once again for like a Capcom fighting game anthology, and then just once again went back into obscurity. So it's just been in and out throughout its years.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I can see that. A fighting game would be interesting like that, yeah. Because I think the market is being saturated by what? Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and Soul Calibur, right? Is there another fighting game?
I mean, Dragon Ball FighterZ is actually taken off.
I'm talking about like old school wise, starting from the old days. Because those four have been.
Killer Instinct?
It had.
Killer Instinct. Let's not even get into that, because that game. Everyone was so hyped when it came out, and then they were just like, so we're going to give you this amount of players, and then you're going to have to buy the rest of them.
Right. And then, like, the thing was, oh, yeah, we're going to make the classic ones, because, like, they first said, oh, no, we're not going to make Idol. We want Idol. All right, you're going to pay for Idol. We want Gargos. We're going to make you pay for Gargos. And it's like, okay. And then, like, way near the end of its life, like, oh, yeah, we're going to bring you killer moves, you know, like in the original. You know, ultimates is what they call it, even though they should have just kept it as like fatalities or rip-off fatalities. And then, oh yeah, we're just gonna give a few characters ultimates. We're not gonna give everybody an ultimate.
Yeah, it was the most botched remastered fighting game I have ever seen. Because honestly, why the fuck would I buy a whole ass game and then all of a sudden have to pay for the rest of my characters? Well, what's the point of that?
Fun fact.
EA.
Well, fun fact, that's actually, I literally was thinking about getting an Xbox One when I heard that got announced. Because like everybody else, I loved Killer Instinct on the N64. It was one of my favorite games. That and number 2. And when I heard, oh, they're remaking Killer Instinct for Xbox One, I was like, that's the reason I'm getting it, 100%. Then you find out, oh yeah, Jugo will be the only person you can get for free. Everyone else you have to pay. And I was like, and I'm going back to Sony.
Yeah, it was some bullshit.
You know.
Yeah, whatever. What about you?
I gotta go with the first Sly Cooper. It came out in 2002. About 3 years, it's gonna be 20 years. So hopefully they can do a remastered of it. I loved playing it as a kid. The only thing that pissed me off was I had 1 life. Or I had 5 lives, but I could instantly die. So I mean, it kind of made me like think about strategically.
Oh yeah, you couldn't even get into the water in that game, could you?
Oh yeah, you could not. You didn't actually learn to swim till number 2.
Yeah.
You still couldn't swim. Once you go in, you go right back out.
Yeah, but then you get that specialty. From the thief net, you get the thing where you hit the water, but also, and then literally nothing happens.
Well, one of the books when you open one of the vaults is you cannot get injured by falling off or hit the water.
Oh yeah.
But that's like later in the game. But like I did like the storyline for it and just seeing it in like, you know, HD, 4K, all that jazz will actually be kind of nice and just reminisce back to my childhood. Because it was a really good game.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah.
100%. I thought that was going to be a sleeper hit when I first saw it, but then that literally, Sly Cooper, along with Jack and Ratchet, became the faces of PS2.
I'm also waiting for that Sly 5. Like
that and Tide the Tasmanian Tiger.
That's another one.
Yeah, that one kind of slipped through the barriers a little bit because of the other 2, Jack and Dexter, Ratchet and Clank, and Sly Cooper. They kind of just took it over.
Well, the other thing was it was kind of heavily based by Nickelodeon, so most people gave it that cartoon-only game.
Yeah. So
sadly, that's what really pushed it to the back. Because as soon as you slap Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or Disney, then you kind of...
It was a dope game.
It was 100% a dope game.
Just played they made Nicktoons Volcano or whatever? Where you get to be Timmy Turner, Danny Phantom, Jimmy Neutron...
Yeah, I never played those games.
Yeah.
I just looked at them.
I just kept switching to Danny Phantom and just played as him. I was like, alright, I know who my character is. Good luck everyone else.
Yeah, I didn't really fuck with those games, honestly. But
last, like, Nickelodeon game I played was Tiny Toons on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
What was it?
I played on the Game Boy Color, Rugrats in Paris.
That was a thing for
That was.
Wow.
Yes. Game Boy, back then, Game Boy games were always known for more cartoony, because that's where you had, like, Ninja Turtles, you had The Mask, you had,
I played Ninja Turtles. I had Ninja Turtles.
Right, but, like, you know, the main, like, you know those old cartoons that used to come on either weekdays or Saturday mornings?
Mm-hmm.
The ones that you never thought, like Godzilla from Fox, that got a game. Mad Jack the Pirate got a game. Spy Dogs got a game. And it was always on the Game Boy. So Game Boy back then was always known. Heck, Goosebumps had a game once.
Yu-Gi-Oh had a game.
Plethora of games.
They're making a new one.
I'm pretty sure
for the Switch.
Dragon Ball Z had one too.
Oh, yeah, they actually had a card battle game on the Game Boy.
I'm pretty sure they had an actual fighting game for the Game Boy.
Yeah, it was like, but it was like 16-bit, like really small.
Yeah, really small. But I mean, it was Dragon Ball Z nevertheless.
I mean, like until Legacy of Goku came out, that was like the only one.
Yeah.
I still fucks with Budokai 3.
Same here.
On PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean that was the best game, and then it just went to the shitter from then on.
No,
Tenkaichi fucking sucked. Tenkaichi 2 was worse. Tenkaichi 3 was just fucking ass tier.
The only thing I liked about Tenkaichi was they actually just gave every character a separate thing. It wasn't a team. Like that was the first game you actually got to play as the whole Ginyu Force.
Yeah, I did like doing was it Xenoverse 1 and 2?
I stopped playing. Yeah, I just lost interest because it became one of those games where it was that Japanese style fighting game where it was slightly kind of like open world where you can fucking go around. And it's like it was just fucking irritating. True. I don't like that. That's why I don't like the way that Jump Force did their shit either.
Yeah, well, at least Jump Force is keeping everything together as I've seen right now. But, you know, I just hope it's not full. As long as they don't make stages like really open world, then we'll be alright. Because they just have to have an enclosed space at least. So people can't run.
Why they just didn't do it like Marvel vs. Capcom, where you have the three fighters and you can just switch out in between.
Because
it's called Fighters.
No,
yeah, but that's what they didn't want.
Force.
But that's what they didn't want to do. They didn't want to take from Fighters and then just make it like that, because then everybody like, well, you're just copying off Fighters.
What do you mean?
I know, but like, you know, nowadays everybody, like, mainly I agree with this. Everyone has to be original and have something new.
Yeah. There's nothing original about it aside from the fact that, you know, they're bringing a lot of anime and manga characters into the game, which is fantastic, but it would have been better in that type of format.
True, I agree there, but you know, whoever like develops it, just their own shit.
Fucking Japan, that's who develops it. Man,
we just get one decent game.
Right?
Honestly, though, shit.
Yeah, they're just gonna have another Call of Duty coming.
Speaking of Call of Duty, that's actually my remastered, the one that I want.
Oh, can I guess? Is it Modern Warfare 2?
Absolutely.
Knew it.
Absolutely.
I knew it.
Absolutely. And the thing is, like, it's not because, you know, it's fucking Call of Duty, hell yeah, man, blah. No, it's not because of that. It's because, number one, I've lost almost complete interest in Call of Duty. Because for the past 3 years, I bought all 3 Call of Duties. 2 of them, my friend played. One of them is just chilling in my house.
Is it Black Ops 4?
It's Black Ops 4. I was just like, I was hyped. I was about to. I mean, I got it for $35, which is cool. But I've completely lost interest in it because of the bullshit that happens all the time. But with Modern Warfare 2, it kind of takes me back to a time where it's like I enjoyed Call of Duty really well, and it was go to school, come back home, play Modern Warfare 2 with my friends, right? And the thing is, everything was so busted in that game, everything was fair.
Yeah.
True.
Now, if they remaster it, which there was rumors where they said they were going to remaster, but it's only going to be the single player campaign and not the multiplayer.
Oh yeah.
So, but if they do bring out the multiplayer, they just need to fix up the one-man army. The fucking noob tubes where you can get infinite pro pipes all the time. It's fucking irritating. And all that bullshit that happened, if they fixed that, it would have been perfect. Because what happened with Modern Warfare 2 is, as soon as it came out, and Infinity Ward at that time, who became most of them switched up and became Respawn,
Mm-hmm.
and they created Titanfall and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if Activision had paid them properly, they would have stayed, and everything would have been slowly fixed, and everything would have been fine. But it just became a shit fest.
Yeah, because that's really what fell for Call of Duty for me. Because, like, one thing I won't lie, Call of Duty has a good storyline when they do single player. They know what they're doing. They have you get involved with the characters. Like, to this day, you still feel for Ghost and all that.
Yeah.
But, like, when you think about, splitting the single player and the multiplayer, that's a smart idea, because it's like, okay, if you just want multiplayer, just take multiplayer and do your shit on here. If you want story, just do story. That's what I would do. I would buy for the story, but I wouldn't touch the multiplayer after bullshit. And then, like you said, with Respawn, because look at Titanfall. As soon as, we can be zero gravity, we can jump into robots and mechs. What the hell did everybody else do? Oh, you can use all this futuristic shit that you ripped off Titanfall.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just, I just want to be able to, enjoy Call of Duty again.
Yeah.
Because I bought 3 of them, haven't really played 3 of them. It's just, this doesn't interest me anymore, because I know as soon as I get on, I'm going to fucking get pissed off, because some bullshit's going to happen, and it's just like, at least with Modern Warfare 2, I immediately knew. I'm just like, yep, I'm in here, I'm in the trenches, I'm in the shit fest, but like, I'm also, everything's so busted, everything is fair. So it's kind of like cool.
Yeah, and then also the thing is just, they just rip, like, back to what I was saying about them ripping off everything. And just like recently, oh yeah, you can try for a week the new Black Ops 4 Battle Royale mode. And I'm just like, why is everyone doing Battle Royale? Okay?
Royale.
Battle Royale is, it's kind of like the new wave.
Right.
If you want to stay, if you want to, PUBG, Fortnite,
Titanfall. I think Titanfall got
Battlefield. Wait, no, Battlefield doesn't have Battle Royale mode.
Yeah, it did. The new one, that came out.
Yeah. Okay, Battlefield, Black Ops. What is it? Rings of Elysium, and then now there's a new one. What is it called? Fuck, I forgot what it was called. But Apex. There it is.
Oh yeah. Okay.
There's a new one. It's kind of like you need to move on with the times,
right?
Because they Call of Duty still has the multiplayer mode, which is used for competitive. But you have to stay with the times. You can't just be like, oh man, I don't want to do Battle Royale mode because it's
right.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, like there, but it's just like, remember when Battle Royale was just last man standing?
Yeah,
really, that's all it is. Because Call of Duty had a last man standing mode, but then of course Battle Royale takes off in other games, and now it
didn't really have a last man. I think you're thinking of S&D, Search and Destroy, but that wasn't really a last man standing situation. It was kind of just if all of your team dies, you can clutch up.
Well, no, it wasn't a team game. It was literally every man for himself. But you have one line. Oh, okay. That's
Free for all has been here for years.
But that's what I mean. Yeah, but like that was a major thing, and then it technically was the original Battle Royale, and then everybody makes a new Battle Royale, and then just goes and flies with it. Like, this is the first time it's ever been created. But it's like,
well, no. The thing is, like, with free for all, you're like in a certain amount of area. Like, if you guys remember Modern Warfare 2, like, imagine Rust as free for all, and then imagine I don't know, Afghan as the Battle Royale that is current, because you have much more space, you have a lot more air. Plus, in free for all, you get to choose your guns, everything before you start the game. In Battle Royale mode, you're dropped in, you have to find everything. It's kind of like, it's a survival game. Right. And it's not like, free-for-all, you have everything that you need, and then you can respawn. This one, you can't respawn. You die, you move on. That's it.
Okay.
I mean, that's just me, though.
Okay. Me. Okay, so since we've all talked about the games we want, now let's look into games that are coming out. So, recently, there has been a huge remake and remastered like wave. We've had Spyro, we've had Crash, we're getting Medieval, we're getting Crash Team Racing. So, like, right now, I won't lie, Sony is on a large dose of this. Because Sony's like been remaking almost every classic title they can think of. Now, is there anything like upcoming from any certain...
Crash Team Racing.
There you go. I wouldn't lie that if anything I want to see Croc, I want to see Gex, or I want to see Maximo in the Army of Zen.
Also, I mean, remastering games isn't really like a new thing, because Nintendo's been doing it since it started.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about full-on graphic updates, new content, like thing, because they already said that Crash Team Racing,
Mario.
Well, yeah, but
Donkey Kong, Legend of Zelda, literally every single Nintendo game has gotten that shit over and over again, and the thing that gets me about Nintendo, and they're really brilliant about it, okay, they switch up some stuff, they give you a new storyline.
But
That's
the
true.
Same thing.
I agree.
And they sell it back to you. And then you're just like, yeah, man, let me just spend another $60 on the same shit over and over again. How many times have you bought Mario Kart?
Like the original Mario Kart?
It doesn't matter. How many Mario Karts have you bought?
9.
2.
Okay. How many Super Mario Brothers have you bought? Just Super Mario in general.
I've lost
0.
count. I've lost count.
Lost count. And how many Mario Parties have you bought?
2.
7.
Okay. See my point?
Yeah, I get what you're going like there. Because I agree. Because like, look at Mario 1, then Mario, The Lost Levels.
Yeah.
I don't count Mario Party 9 or 10 because that was garbage.
Yes. Okay, 7 was good, was the last good one, and then 8 down the toilet.
It's just...
I like the new one, though.
Oh, yeah, the new one for Switch, that's actually interesting, but like, I don't know what they were doing after that mic incident.
So for the 2, 9, and 10, it was because they lost most of the people that were doing 8, and they were creating something new, and they lost the people for it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we had that craptastic game, because they brought new people with new vision in. They let go of the old people and bring in new, so it could be a brand new game.
It's kind of like what Bethesda did with Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
The amount of times people like they remastered it, they like re-released it, and they made a Game of the Year edition, and blah blah blah.
And every console.
Oh my god, it was like resell over and over. It was the same game, but people kept buying it.
You know, a good example of that is Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he gets a Switch, he's buying the Skyrim for it. He was like, I mean, I played it like since day one. I gotta keep going.
They're really brilliant.
Oh yeah, 100%. I won't lie, because let's face it, if Switch may have like an NES, but let's face it, when they release N64 and remake, and they could remake
Skyrim
Pokemon
64,
it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me.
Have you seen the NES cartridge and it has Skyrim on it? It's like seems legit.
But let's face it, if they like remastered Pokemon Stadium, people are gonna buy it. If they
I would fucks with that. And Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon Snap is the one that I want. Pokemon Snap. Listen, I'm waiting to buy a Switch, but like you release Pokemon Snap, bro, I'm buying it like that.
Yes. Like 3 games that I know I will buy a Switch for: Ultimate Alliance 3, Pokemon Switch, and then Pokemon Stadium. If they remaster Pokemon Stadium, I'm buying it.
I do like the Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, because it's a different story. It's the same story, but like you're a different person. You're not red or blue. You do get to meet blue. You get to meet red. You also meet green.
Yeah, but I also consider it just really yellow remaster, because you get to meet Team Rocket. You get to go, you get all the starters. You get, technically it's Ash version.
Except for they're like, hey, yeah, you gotta catch like 60 Pokemon to get Squirtle. And I'm like,
well, hey,
60 Pokeballs I don't want to use. Like, I don't want to waste them. I'm like a hoarder for Pokeballs, just like Pokemon Go.
But all in all, I definitely look forward. And then the one that I'm really hoping, now this is just a rumor right now, but Ed Boon himself is really teasing this.
Shaggy?
So, no, denied.
I know, that guy.
Literally,
Man,
literally, the first question on the Combat Cast, they literally asked, "Is Shaggy playable?" No, the Mystery Machine will not be running over Scorpion anytime soon.
I would fuck with that. Though.
Honestly, if they just threw that in there as a literal Easter egg, I would be hyped. Just because
that's the new world.
That would be fullest.
Old man McGregor.
But the thing that Ed Boon has been teasing, and which he made in the Community Day, was one of the biggest games that he wanted to make, but because Midway was going under, was Shaolin Monks 2, Fire and Ice, where you get to play Scorpion and Sub-Zero. And the whole point of that was he literally finished the game, but brought it to Midway, but they were going under, so they said, no, we can't do it, we don't have the money. And Ed Boon himself has stated, I've always regretted never releasing that. So the rumor right now is there's supposed to be 2 special single players modes. So some people are already saying we're getting Shaolin Monks Remastered, and we're getting Shaolin Monks 2, Fire and Ice. So if he's doing that, Ed Boon, you got my money, 100%.
I don't know. All these remastered, like, there's so much bullshit that comes with a remaster, especially like, how much was Crash Bandicoot's $40, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much was Spyro? I didn't get Spyro yet. 40. 40?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
They find ways to milk.
Well, it's just like, but then they combine them as a 6-pack, and then they actually charge $70.
Okay. I mean, to be honest, what was it? Back in the day? It was $50 for a game, right? Instead of 60.
Well, if we're counting from, remember back
like PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Okay, yeah, that was 60,
yeah.
But then if you count like N64 was 70.
70?
Superman 64 was 70.
What the?
And so
wait, no, I used to buy PlayStation 2 games at $50.
No, like N64 games, like Superman 64, that was 70, and then Donkey Kong 64 was 70 because it came with the Rumble Pack. And you could not play the game without the Rumble Pack.
Ah, yes. Getting milked.
Just like how Disney's milking Star Wars.
Yeah, we're not even going to get into that one.
Oh, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, we're ending on that note. Goodbye.
Peace.